This is a new machine to me and many people. We're going to go through the initial setup on this thing. When you first turn this printer on, it's going to go through the guide. And what that's going to do is walk you through all the steps of getting your filament in and getting ready to start printing. So let's do that.
Are you sure to enter the operation guide?
Yes.
Self-testing. Please wait.
This is what it's going to do on its initial startup out of the box. And it's quite comprehensive. It's going through an X-axis detection. XY axis nozzle heating detection. And you can see the lights also change color. There's several different light indications depending on what it's doing. It's heating, it's printing, it's stopped. I think blue when it's just like paused. So there's a few indications by the light of
Okay, next step.
what's going on at the time. I see it green now. So let's finish that.
It will take a while to heat the nozzle before auto-leveling.
So now we'll go through the auto leveling. Gotta get the nozzle up to 210 degrees centigrade. In the meantime, while that's going on, I'm going to show you what I'm going to print next. This is a file that I had made. It's a replica of the I Dream of Jeannie bottle, which, for people who don't know, was an actual glass bottle by the Jim Beam Company, made in 1964. So I had this model redone so people can print it, and that's what we're going to do next. I sliced up a real nice file that I was going to do, but you know, it would have taken a long time to print that, and we'll get into those sometime, you know, like these very high quality prints, but it takes a few days to print this, and I think I'd rather just go over some of the features with you on this machine, and then we'll get into the fancy stuff. So we're at 205 right now. It's going to do a 16-point bed leveling, which is common these days. There is a pressure sensor inside of the printing head. As the nozzle depresses onto the surface, it pushes up, and a sensor in here detects that, so it sets your level according to that. I haven't checked the factory Z on this machine. Sometimes you get a printer which is kind of like a little off level. And the machine has to compensate as it's moving across doing your printing. And, you know, your Z will actually go up and down to compensate for your bed. And if it's really bad, your printer will constantly move up and down, which I really don't like. But this one seemed to be very squared, so I don't think that's a problem. It came factory set, probably with the synchronization belt back here. Today we're going to be printing in a sparkle red. It's called Galaxy Red. And we're going to do our bottle in that. Find my start point on here. By the way, that's something you never want to do, is lose your start point on your filament. That's when it gets tangled, and people get in touch with the filament company complaining that their filament was tangled, but it's not. It's because you actually let go of this end, and once you do that, a lot of things can happen. So let's see where we go with this. So now our
Leveling
auto,
complete.
we're all finished.
Okay, next step.
finish that.
Load filament.
Load filament. Load straight filament into the feed hole and observe whether the filament is extruded.
Filament loaded.
So
Please check whether the filament has been extruded out of the nozzle.
when I inserted this filament, the filament sensor detected that I had stuck it in, and now it's pushing it through. This machine has a lot of features. We'll go through everything on here. It's going to take some time. You know, I haven't really done anything with this except for the little dog file that came out of there originally, and you can see our red is starting to come out now. Oh, okay. When you see the
Insert SD card.
when you see the
Okay, next step.
when you see the filament coming out, just hit the finish button, I guess. Otherwise, it's going to keep extruding out filament, which we don't want to do. Insert SD card.
It's ready to print.
Operation guide has been completed. Do you want to start printing the file? Yes.
Start printing.
So we're printing the Jeannie bottle file. This is going to take about a day. It's in Chep's 2 layer height, 0.2 layer height. So it should give us a pretty decent print. What I'm shooting for eventually is to get something like this. I'll use a nice gray PLA. I already sliced up some nice files. You can see, you know, this is kind of what I expect out of printers, you know. Very high quality surfaces, you know, no string. So we're going to try to get this machine to this point so that, you know, you guys can do stuff like this. I'm not a YouTube celebrity. I don't come on and print a Benchy and then you'll never see this printer again. I don't have nice blue, red, and green light shining all over the place. And maybe eventually I'll get my studio finished and it's going to be nice, but I'd rather show you guys what machines are capable of on a simple basis, and that's what I do. Most of my people are on Facebook, and that's what I focus my time on. If you want bells and whistles and benchies, I'm sure those videos will be coming on YouTube very shortly. I'm actually very happy to get this machine early, and I'm planning on buying several of these. Probably by the time I'm finished, I'll probably have 3 or 4 of these printers. I'm really impressed with the build quality that I'm seeing right now, so I don't mind. I don't mind going out and purchasing some machines to do the projects that I work on. So I'll be riding along with you guys on the Kickstarter. Like I said, I mean, I'm not just going to take this machine and make a nice little dog print for you. Looks like our Z offset has to be lowered down a little. I mean, that looks better. Not sure why that didn't give us a better this PLA should be printing. This is printing a brim around the bottle. That's the thing about these auto level printers. You do have to sometimes go in. Sometimes it's referred to as baby steps. You can select your height of your nozzle off of your bed, so sometimes you do have to tweak those, and we seem to be pretty good at that point. We're printing at 205 degrees, a 58-degree bed. Cooling fans off at the moment. Yeah. So I think we're in good shape now. If you guys have any questions on these machines, feel free to ask, and I will go through any questions you have, and we'll try to get through this together. Like I said, there's a lot of features on here which I have not even started looking through. All the different settings, there's quite a bit of information in here. So it's not a simple machine that we were printing on 3 years ago. It's it gives you the ability to really nice and tune in settings. So that's about it for now. We're 12 minutes into a video, and people have a very short attention span, but everything's running good with this machine. At some point, I'm going to actually tune the filament, make sure when I tell it to push 100, it's pushing 100 millimeters through. I haven't done any of that stuff yet. This is an out-of-the-box experience, like I said. So we'll both have a learning curve. I like these connectors. I have some printers with these. Just you stick your ribbon in. There's been a lot of problems with these connections, but these people provided some very nice, stable clips on the end of their ribbon cables. So I think this is definitely a much better solution than the just press fit ribbons that have been causing people problems. So I think they did a good job with those. And I'll see you guys in one day. I got some other projects I'm working on. A big wall, lighted hexagon wall for my studio. I got actually 5 printers working on that. And that's going to take another few weeks. But in the meantime, we'll deal with this one. This is the only machine that I actually have a 0.4 nozzle in. All of my other machines are cranking out a 0.8, so I can get this wall finished soon. It's a few hundred hours of printing to get that finished. Take care, people. Happy printing. Feel free to ask any questions. I'll be using this machine in the next few months along with you guys.